Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Everyone jumped their clock ahead. So when we leap forward with our clocks, that's when everyone's supposed to change the batteries on their smoke detectors. So I'm reminding everybody to do that. And if for some reason you can't call us or the fire department, and we will get somebody out there to change for you. If you're shaking on a ladder or anything, we'll come out and swap them out. So probably say that another time today too. Roll call.
Mark Bouchard.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Chris Regan.
Glad to be here.
Cindy Valentine here. Joanne Sharkey.
Here.
Maureen Board here. Christy Hilton.
She's absent excused. Okay, bills payable. I will entertain a motion.
Board, I'll make a motion that we support and approve the bills payable in the amount of $191,000, $389.20.
I'll support that.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Chris Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. Joanne Sharkey.
Yes.
Maureen Board.
Yes.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes. All right, next is our supervisor's report. And I'm sorry, it's a long one. Lots of stuff going on. As far as our high water report, I'm very optimistically hopeful. Our water is actually down right now about 14 inches from where it was this time last year. And, normally this time of the year it starts going up, which it will. But actually in the past week and a half, it's actually gone down a little bit. We've had a dry March so far. Let's not jinx ourselves. COVID-19, we're getting more and more vaccinations being administered every day. And in fact, I actually logged in last week with the St. Clair County Health Department to get it. And I got an email today, and I'm scheduled for this Wednesday to get my first shot. So whatever, I didn't do anything special, didn't say anything special, and I was really surprised. So that being said, they're supposed to be rolling out a bunch more vaccine in the next week or two. Been notified, actually, last, I can't remember, it was Thursday or Friday, they're all blurring in together, that with the COVID relief fund, or federal COVID relief bill, that Clay Township is actually getting estimated around $878,000 and some change. The county, St. Clair County, is getting about $31 million. I've been on the phone a lot Friday, today, actually Saturday. It's really scared me in the beginning. I'm not sure what kind of strings are attached to it yet. I've heard that this is money they want us to spend. I've heard the opposite. My big thing was too, Friday I was hearing rumblings out of Lansing that they're going to reduce our state,
Revenue sharing?
yes, thank you, revenue sharing, which happened when back in Graham Home days. I heard a lot of stuff. I verified that this money, we don't have a time date yet. It's going to be allocated through the state legislature, so they're going to have to approve it. And it's probably going to come to us in two different checks, like one sooner and one, I'm just guessing, 4 or 6 months from now. I don't know.
Artie, there was some guidance that Soundtrog sent out late this afternoon.
Yeah.
So they have 90 days to distribute it to us,
Right.
50%, and then 12 months to give us the other 50%.
Okay,
And it has to be spent by December 31st of 2024.
okay. Thank
And
you. I didn't see
there are
that.
restrictions to how it can be spent.
Right, I didn't see that just yet. I was talking to MTA, they said it's coming out soon.
Yeah, it came out late this afternoon.
Okay. I was in a lot of talks with the county because they got a big chunk. And they kind of seeing what their thinking is and how they're going to spend it going forward. I kind of think myself personally that, you know, we're going to be paying for this for a long, long time to come in the future in one way or another. So whatever this money gets spent on, it should be on either reducing our costs going forward, increasing our tax base, so we get a good return on investment on this. I'm thinking, you know, like infrastructure, that type of thing. And the county was kind of in line for it too. That thinking. The county has a problem where someone big wants to come in and build a plant or something. They actually Magna bought their last available good piece of property for a factory up in St. Clair. And I talked to someone in economic development, EDA up there, and they said, we have an ask right now for a plant for batteries, and they're looking for 150 acres. And right now, we don't have a build-ready piece of property for that in the whole county where we can supply them enough water, gas, and electricity. So that being said, we're looking at the 26-mile road corridor, and they have plenty of gas there, but not so much the electricity requirements and water. So they're looking at possibility taking a good chunk of this stuff and improving the infrastructure there. And I kind of said, you know, told them that I myself personally would support that. I know it wouldn't be, you know, taxes for Clay Township property, but boy, we'd benefit from jobs from that. And so they're looking at that, and they actually gave me some rough numbers to do the whole corridor, probably be at 20 million. But they are definitely looking at spending money down the lower part of St. Clair County as opposed to way up by Port Huron and north. So I'm sure there'll be more talks on that going forward. I just want to let everybody know about what's happening on that level. Working on the grant funding for Bluebill Bridge, and this is for 2024 if it gets approved. Estimated cost right now for that project is $720,000. And our estimate, if we get all the same federal, state, and local taxes or county grants that we've been lucky enough to get for the last two bridges, township share will be about $9,240, I estimated. So that's nice if we're successful doing that. The Flamingo Bridge replacement has started, and they're actually getting ready to put in the temporary bridge. I just learned that they might have a holdup because the frost laws are still on. But once they remove the existing bridge, per the contract, they have 100 days to finish the new bridge and have that available for crossing. The total contract has to be done by the end of July, but they're looking at removing the existing bridge and switching over to the temporary bridge around April 1st, if not before. There is going to be a traffic issue there under construction because they're going to have red lights monitored because the temp bridge is a one-way bridge and they don't have much room to stage cars that are going onto Flamingo from M29. There's only going to be room for about 2 cars. So they're going to basically say there's no left turns from M29 going from Elginak that way onto Flamingo. We're going to have to do a turnaround and make a right-hand turn and maybe stage off to the side of the shoulder. So just want to warn everybody of that. And I had a pretty good conversation with the traffic designers, and they didn't see any way around that. So, and yes, our frost laws are still going on. We're starting work on the rehab of the bike path. The guy that's doing the sealing and rubberizing all the cracks and filling in the big holes has actually started. I don't know if he worked today or not. He was making the cuts where they have to, he's going to have to pull out some asphalt and replace it, and he's getting ready to do his sealing and rubber filling. So we actually have that now on the agenda, so we'll be talking about that more. And that's actually for, you know, we have a $45,000 matching grant to help pay for that. And I've been dealing with a lot of building and blight issues. Let's see, what else? Oh, we have scheduled our Township Cleanup for the weekend of June 5th. And again, that's June 5th on the mainland. That's Saturday. It's going to be behind the water department. And on Harson's Island, we have it actually for 2 days, June 5th and 6th on Browns Field on Harson's Island. And also, it'll go through the budget process, but I'd like to actually have a second cleanup in the fall. This is pretty popular. Maybe towards the beginning of October, into September. And I actually asked Harson's Island St. Clair Class Association if we could utilize Brownsfield. We're going to look at some dates and get some possible dates on having a second one. Let's see, and that being said, I was going to tell the department heads it's that time of year we're going to have to start talking budgets in the next couple of weeks. So start figuring out what we're going to need for the next year, and we should sit down here in a couple of weeks and start hashing that out. No limits fishing charter with Barrier Free Plus on the Pearl Beach. Actually, we're probably going to execute that contract tomorrow. Our attorney actually crafted a nice contract, and they agreed to it, and he's going to come in tomorrow, and we're going to sign that. They were actually on WJR Saturday on the radio. The Inside Outside guys, you know them, don't you, Chris? They were talking to Barrier Free Plus about everything, that's what they do, and they brought up the fishing boat charter, and they probably talked about it for 10 minutes, and they said, oh yeah, it's in Clay Township, Pearl Beach Fishing Pier, and it was very positive, and so that's a good thing. Met with the Harson's Island Homeowners Association last week along with Maureen and Joanne, and Chief George Rose was there. I do have a wastewater treatment plant meeting this Friday. We're going to be talking a lot about capacities, how this contract's been set in the past. Clay pays for 35% of all the capital improvements. IRA pays for 35% of the capital improvements, and Elginak's paying 30%. But as of late, actually quite a few years, Elginak's capacity has been more than 30% mostly because of water filtration during the higher water. And so we're like, time out, we're paying for, a greater share of the capital expenditures of this water plant. And, we feel like we're paid for our share. With, the past couple of years, they've been 50% of the capacity. So we're going to hopefully come up with and agree to some kind of formula based on flow, maybe over the last 5 years or something as far as capital improvements going forward with the plant. So, and Semco, we ran a new gas line to the concession stand in the park today. Right now we have electric heat to heat it, and it's quite expensive. And we kind of figured out, run the gas line, put in a furnace, it would probably have a return of investment in less than a year. We'll be saving a lot of money. Electric heat is, I don't know, what were we paying, about $1,000 a month?
To the park
Yeah,
and electric, yeah.
yeah, it's been quite heavy, and yeah, we're gonna put some gas heat in there. It'll save us a couple, $3,000 a year. So that's all I have. Any questions or anything? Okay, moving forward. Public comments. Any public comments? Come on up. Your name and address.
My name is Phelps Sampson. I live at 603 Trimble Road. I was watching the Intera presentation on YouTube, and the gentleman on the presentation was mentioning about having a meeting with Artie, stating that what he could do to help, what you said could help bring the cost down, to have us on the, have us get them again as garbage disposal. And you had mentioned $1 would help. Well, the February 15th meeting, we already knew the priority waste was $10. So Intera was $12.50, and when you mentioned $1, that would only bring it down to $11.50. So I don't understand why you would tell Intera, instead of saying, put your quote in and we can go back.
That's how we said it, and that's not how it went down. I didn't say $1. They basically said the dollar figure. So what he said,
When
what
you go into
actually,
28 minutes of the meeting, he actually said that he had met with you.
Right, that's what
and
the public
you had
comment.
Right, I
asked him
understand
if
that.
Put the meeting, have it down. So I'm just wondering why that situation happened.
okay,
And everything, I have a problem with the meeting minutes. Like the February 15th, I had mentioned all the missing pages that were on the priority waste contract. And Mr. Bain had mentioned stuff before me, but it started out with Kelly Nader in there, and the meetings were very vague about that. The only thing that was in that meeting minutes was saying that I had trouble printing the agenda, the new agenda. Well, I got that taken care of. But to me, the meetings, that's very vague, because the meeting was cut out to what I had said and what Mr. Bain had said. So the minute meetings were just very vague for that. But I noticed that the comments, board comments were all put in there very well. So I just wanted to mention that about the Intera with their quote, that you already knew the price of the priority quote when you told them $1. So to me, it felt like you threw them under the bus. So that's my comment. Thank you.
thank you. Any other public comments? Come on up.
Yeah, Harold Bain, 757 North Channel, representing Hyde. I got a comment that I contacted the township attorney, and she said that she could not discuss anything with me because she was directed by the board. Because I asked her if the board and Hyde were ever going to meet, and she didn't have anything to say. So I requested an open comment previous meeting to address that before I talked to the attorney, and you said you'd call me.
Okay,
You never did.
sorry.
Yeah, okay.
You can call me here.
Yeah, you're right.
You
I
can
want
call
to
me.
know, I just have one question. Does the board know what HIDA operates under? What public act?
I don't know offhand, you're asking me.
Would you like a copy?
Sure.
So, always, this is what I operate under. Okay, 196.
Yep.
So I just, can you expect a call from me tomorrow, Artie?
Sure, tomorrow afternoon would be better.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Vinay. I'm with Priority Waste. I don't live in the county, but I live in St. Clair Shores, 22419 Milner. Just want to say thank you all for the opportunity to bid on the waste contract. January 4th was when it was released by Artie. We submitted a competitive bid, what we feel like was good for the township. With the numbers that were submitted, were annually about $170,000 lower than the other bid that was received originally, $86,000 lower than the adjusted bid that was submitted on February 15th with the Ontario special meeting. I do understand that in the meeting on the 15th, I expanded upon Priority Waste and who we are, what type of company we are. We pride ourselves on service. We pride ourselves on being better than the industry average. We want to be active and engaged in the communities that we live and work in and every day, and ultimately exceed our customers' expectations when we come out to your township and the other cities or villages that we service. I do understand today that there's a contract issue. I was made aware of that this afternoon, and just wanted to reiterate that we are 100% supportive of Clay Township. Whatever you need, we'll honor our prices. I would suggest that, knowing the situation a little bit, that you push them on the renewal of being maybe only 1 year because of the circumstances that arose very last minute. So thank you again, Dan from Priority Waste. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan, for coming out. Any other public comments? Going once, and twice. Okay, thank you. Moving right along, we have Fire Chief report. Chief Rose.
Good evening. Chief's report for February 2021. During the month of February, I attended 2 meetings, St. Clair Flats Homeowners Association and also the St. Clair County Fire Chiefs Association. General business was discussed in both. During the month of February, ferries shut down for a few days, so we activated our ferry shutdown plan, which includes Station 2 staff with fire department personnel, along with a paramedic from Tri-Hospital. We notified U.S. Coast Guard Air Station, also MedStar Light Flight, along with the Michigan State Police, were notified in case we needed an air vac. We also assisted the post office. We took the mail across a couple times, and we also assisted St. Susie Market by taking some food across with the airboat. I received a call from West Shore Fire Company. They're the ones that we bought our fire trucks. Those should be completed by April. I have April 23rd, but I got a better date of April 26th. They should be done, and it'll be brought up from the Florida up here around the first week of May. The airboat will be done at the end of the month, so we'll be going down and picking that up. I also submitted for 2 grants for the AFG grants. One was for AEDs, so we standardize all our AEDs in the township with physio control, so we're compatible with Tri-Hospital. And that grant was for $34,154. I also did a regional grant with Ira Township, Marine City, Algonac, and ourselves for new portable radios. And that one was for $609,988.29.
Yeah, that's for how many communities?
That was with Ira Township, Marine City, Algonac, and us. 4 communities.
Hey, Chief, if you could expound, I brought it up at the island meeting. What was our staffing like on Harson's Island for the month of February and March so far?
We staffed it pretty much every day in March and every day in February.
Yep, 24 hours. That's a lot better than we've ever been, so I just wanted to bring that up. Any other questions for Chief?
Who's gonna pick the fire trucks up?
Well, when they come back to the state up here, they'll be shipped to Grand Rapids, and they'll go through the truck, and they'll check the fluids and everything. And then we'll pick them up or they'll deliver them to us. Want to go?
Guess I can't throw my hat in the ring for
You gotta go.
it.
No.
Yeah, we're not going to Florida for that.
Chief, how are your new hires working out?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Finally, you have enough personnel to adequately staff what you need to staff right now?
Well, we're always could use more people.
Okay, you still on the hunt?
Yep.
Good.
So.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Stan, thank you.
What's that?
I said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, moving along, we have the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the minutes from February 15th, March 1st, the special board meeting of March 8th, check reports. There's a cemetery cleanup notice effective March 29th. The DPW will be cleaning up the cemetery. The grave blankets need to be removed. And a communication from the Council on Aging thanking us for our annual donation.
Support.
Okay, motion and support. Any discussion or anything needs to be pulled out?
Should we try to look at what Ms. Sampson was talking about on the minutes and make any changes? Do we need to do that or no?
No.
No.
No? Seems like if there's stuff missing, maybe we should add to it?
Do we have anything missing?
No.
No.
Well, let's expound on that. This is a televised meeting, right? Whether it's Zoom or whether it's through the board, it's televised.
Right.
So all of her comments, all of the public comments are made public.
Well, the problem is, for some reason during that meeting, I realized in the middle of public comments it wasn't being recorded. Why it was turned off, I don't know. It was turned on in the beginning, so I turned it back on as soon as I realized that.
The meeting minutes are specifically to record the decisions of the board.
Okay.
That's the purpose of the meeting minutes.
So,
That's the purpose of the meeting minutes.
And videos and posting that's not required by any municipality. We try to do it to be more transparent and more open and more, get your information out. It's not a requirement, so.
I just wasn't sure how detailed the minutes are supposed to be, if they're supposed to be extremely detailed or just general.
Yep, just for the decisions, so. Okay, anything else on the consent agenda?
That's it?
Motion to
Here,
support.
we got motion and support, all in favor of the consent agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, under new business, we have garbage and recycling contract. I'll start out by saying back in, I think I contacted 6 companies other than Antera back towards the end of the year, beginning of this year. 2 waste carriers said they wouldn't quote us because we're in St. Clair County and it's a closed county. And the problem is they have to deliver their waste to the county-owned landfill, and they own their own landfill, and because of that they wouldn't give us a quote. And I had 2 others say they couldn't quote, they couldn't accommodate us because of logistics reasons, trucks, that type of thing. And Priority Waste did give us a quote. And then actually there was one company, Republic, they just contacted me about 2 weeks ago by phone and said, sorry man, you're late to the dance. So You know, talking with Emterra, I mean, the board knows, I mean, I'll fully admit it, I did make a mistake. How the contract spells out, we're supposed to actually notify them twice. First, you got to say, hey, we want to review the contract, and then after rejecting the review, then we have to give a notice of canceling the contract. Well, I canceled the contract, and this all has to happen before December 1st. I canceled the contract long time before that. I was mad. They gave, you know, bad service, and I sent an email saying, hey, I'm canceling this contract, this current contract right now. I started asking for numbers from Emterra back in September, October, November. I didn't get any numbers from them until towards the end of January. And I did not like them, and told them, no, you know, that it's not going to work for us. And as Dan from Emterra was here last week, or last time, he said, yeah, we met with Artie twice. The first meeting was very contentious, and that was a contentious meeting we had with them. So going forward from that, I mean, hindsight, I should have, back before December 1st, saying, hey, we didn't receive any numbers from you. I'm canceling the contract and the whole renewal thing back then. But I know I was trying to work with them in good faith. And shame on me for that. So moving forward, our attorney basically told us this past week that if we don't renew with Emterra, we have a good chance of a breach of contract with this renewal clause. And she said it could be, it's defendable, but she does not like the odds, and we would be putting the township at risk going forward if we did renew with Emterra. But to that credit, I mean, this is the past month, Emterra did give us a substantial cost break on what they had originally given us. And in fact, this past week, they actually knocked another quarter off the first year. So it will be 11.25 per stop for the first year. So basically, where we're at right now is if we renew with Emterra, we will be probably saving about, I don't know, $75,000, $78,000 a year from what we're currently paying this year. And they froze their rates for 3 years, so they won't go up at all. Which, I mean, if you told me 6 months ago, if our garbage hauling rates were going to be 10% less than what they are today, I would have laughed at you, because everyone's going up 3%, 4%, 5%, especially for recycling. So
They still can go up for a fuel surcharge.
yeah, well, that's with any hauler.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not
Right.
frozen. If the price of gas goes to $5,
Yeah.
they're going to go up.
Exactly. And tipping charges are going to go up also. This is just for the hauler. And they did put a service level agreement in, which we didn't have before, where, you know, we expect this service level agreement, and if they don't hold to it, we can tell them in writing, and they have to develop a plan to make it right. And if they don't, we can cancel the contract with them. So that's where we're at. So the board has a decision to make.
This contract is through 2026.
No,
It's actually through 2024 with a 2-year optional continuation, provided they meet all the guidelines. But if the township chooses to cancel the service at that time, we have protocol written within the boundaries of the contract.
Which is the same protocol that we just didn't do correctly.
Yes.
And another thing too, our attorney wanted to make a couple changes, which I shared with everybody, and that's been done today. Actually, our attorney actually crafted it and sent it to us and sent it to Mterra, and they also approved it, so, of the changes.
Yeah. Yeah, so the changes were the arbitration clause.
Yep.
Right, the whole harmless
Yep.
agreement, and we wanted to make sure that the service level agreements were on par.
Right.
So they seem to have fulfilled their end of the adjustments, even though, you know, they seem to agree with the adjustments that our council has made.
Mm-hmm.
So Priority Waste talked about a one-year contract, is that a
Well,
possibility?
you know, I did a lot of negotiating with Mterra, and I won't lie, I was and Dan that was here at our last meeting from Mterra, he would be here, he's on quarantine, but he is available through a cell phone if someone wants me to call him. We did, you know, at first I tried a 4-month contract, end of the year contract. Mterra wasn't going to have anything to do with that. I tried hard. I even tried to get a buyout for them. You know, what's it going to take for you guys to walk away? And they weren't willing to do that. Their stance was, you know, if we don't do anything, this whole contract just rolls over and goes in effect. So, like I said, we negotiated. To their credit, they did drop our costs significantly.
So it's a 3-year with an optional 2?
2.
But
And the
if-
3-year, the costs are frozen. They're not going up
Right.
for 3 years. And we all know costs are going to be going up for everybody else.
But
So
they-
like I say, they gave us a little over a 10% reduction for this next year and froze it for 2 more years.
Well, Priority Waste is going to be a little lower, but we don't know about their service. But the additional 2 years, if they give us good service, do we have to stick with them for 5? Or after 3 years, is it we cancel no matter
But
what?
yeah,
No,
right.
we do not. At the end of 3 years, we have the option to opt out.
Okay,
There's protocol to follow, but
okay.
we do have that option.
'Cause I thought I saw a 5-year too.
Yeah, there's, the contract is written today that was modified by our council,
Right.
Christine. The start date of this contract is April the 1st of 2021. It runs through March 31st of 2024. So then it has options for us for the following 2 years. So it says it shall continue for an additional 2 years with reasonable economic increases unless written notification is given to the contractor by the township not less than 120 days prior to the above termination date that the township is elected to review the contract.
And they actually put the costs in for the next 2 years already in the contract. They're less than 2% increase. See that, Chris?
I did.
Where their costs are?
Yep. Yep, I analyzed those costs. And it looks like the township will receive a reduction for the next couple of years. Provided we can do our due diligence and keep our tipping fees in order, we'll be saving.
So there's still binding arbitration in this paragraph.
Yeah, that was pulled out. On the one I put on your desk,
This is,
red line.
this is yours. What I'm saying is the arbitration is still in this paragraph. For after the following 2 years.
Yes.
So should we make a mental note that if we decide to continue the contract after the 3-year
Well, first we'd
service period?
First, we'd have to approve the contract.
I agree.
Or we have to work
I
on it.
agree.
Right.
But somewhere in there, we need to note that that needs to come out if we choose to continue the service. That's all-
Right, because
that's all I'm
it
getting at.
wouldn't play in effect unless we did.
Unless we
the
continue
option.
the service, the option, additional year 4
Right.
and/or 5. See, what paragraph is that in?
It's, 6 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of 6, paragraph 6. Does the board have a pleasure?
I'm not a fan of the hoops they want us to jump through to terminate, which is what got us in this position to begin with.
Yep.
Not a fan of the 3 years. Not a fan that gets so difficult to work with.
Well, let's not overlook, we're looking at costs right now, let's not overlook the service that was lacking as we went forward with the exploring other refuge companies. It's the main reason that we're here today, not because of cost, basically. So, I think that's something that ought to be considered.
Well, you have the service level agreement, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, we have the service level agreement, but why we're here today is because of the lack of service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, although we have an agreement for service level, to me, it doesn't really mean anything to them, or for anybody, really.
Well, we didn't have that in writing in the other contracts.
You mentioned it should have been in there and it wasn't. so-
Right. Remember, I called them out on that.
Yeah. It's just like we're kind of between a rock and a hard place,
Well,
so, right? We have-
I think those are my exact sentiments as well, Maureen. It really is. We're in a difficult position. We have an obligation to, A, provide, a good company for a service for our residents. But B, we have to control fixed costs where we can control them.
Right.
And I'm concerned, personally concerned, that if we don't go through with this 3-year agreement, then there could be repercussions that potentially could be unfavorable to Clay Township and the citizens.
Yeah, like legal fees.
So I have some concerns personally about that. I do find that, personally speaking, my service with Terra is outstanding. My guys are on time. I can count on them like clockwork. They do a great job for me.
Me too.
But I'm only one citizen, and we've got close to 10,000, right? The price break, I can appreciate. We could certainly use that to the township's benefit. And there's a little reservation about the unknown for me. So that's where I'm coming from.
Well, we've
Discount what you're
heard
saying.
several figures on what it's going to cost as far as litigation is concerned. We don't continue. So I don't know how true those numbers are. Do you? You know how true those numbers can be?
Well, my worst fear would be, say if we sign with Priority, now all of a sudden we have 2 garbage companies picking up our garbage. And okay, yeah, it would have been a little cheaper if we went with priority. And then again, you know, I think they would give good service too. I'm pretty confident Tara is going to give us better service. They came out with a pretty good plan, service plan for us. I actually have text, hey, we need to stage another dumpster on the island for mistakes. You know, he's going to hire a couple people to run around in trucks to, if they do miss spots, he's going to monitor social media. We all heard that. And we have it in writing, they're going to give us a service level agreement. So that's in black and white now. We didn't have that before. So like I say, yeah, I made a mistake, but we're going to end up better than where we were a few months ago.
If I may make a comment.
Yep.
They have left my garbage on the side of the road on the main highway more than once.
Right.
And I've had to chase them down the road or go uptown and find them, say, why didn't you pick up my garbage? So I'm very unhappy with that company, but that's me personally.
Right.
But I know of other people on the island that are too. But as was said, we're between a rock and a hard place. We have no choice. Let's move forward.
Yep.
Go with that, and as long as we got all our ducks in a row, and keep hunting for somebody better.
Well, I think we know who's up on deck. And we've got a guy that put in a lot of time for us.
Yep,
And was extremely competitive.
yes.
Not to say that we won't follow the steps and put it out again, but
Someone want to make a motion so we can actually discuss it?
Board, I'll make a motion to approve the waste collection contract for Clay Township, between Clay Township and Mterra Environmental USA Corporation. Contract period being
April 1st.
April 1st of 2021 through March 31st of 2024.
Can you specify the latest revised contract by our council?
The contract that Christine sent back to Artie with amendments that Artie forwarded us, we should have been in receipt of it sometime this afternoon.
Yep.
Is everybody familiar with the contract I'm referring to?
It's got the red line changes.
Yep.
I'll support with conditions.
Okay, what are your conditions, Mark?
You got it. You just said them. Conditions on the contract.
He supports your,
Okay. We have motion and support.
okay, do we have more discussion?
Yeah, I have a little more to discuss.
Yes.
So, my personal feeling is that we need some type of a committee to review this contract long before the expiration date. Reach out to our constituents, find the effectiveness, the terms, and then make an educated decision and advise the rest of the board on which way we think we should go for the year 4 and year 5.
I think we should do it within our budget process, 2 years from now. That would be a good timing for
I
it.
agree. I agree.
Wouldn't you?
This is a big thing for our township to get your arms around, and I think multiple sets of eyes on something could aid.
And, you know, in all truthful too, 6 years ago when we went out to bid, we only had one company quoted, and that was Mterra. That was 6 years ago.
I agree. Well, and if we have other large contracts like this, maybe we should look at that and, you know, and have two of us helping you, because it's a lot for you to do already, so.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you could get us more involved, that maybe.
No problem.
Don't let me get started on that. That's a good idea.
Yep.
I mean,
Let's
I
piggyback
have no
in,
problem.
it's Chris's idea
Putting
really,
that
but, you know, not just this contract, but we need to look at all of them like that going forward beforehand.
Well, our next big contract probably be this next year, it's going to be probably a 20-year contract for our water plant. And I have definite ideas on that, what needs to be in there going forward to protect Clay's interests.
So we would start early enough, right?
Well, yeah, I want to start like 2 years before that's up, actually.
Good plan.
And voluntary
Good
help.
plan.
Yep. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Cindy Valentine, no. Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Chris Regan.
Yes.
Okay, passes. Next, we have on the agenda
Sorry,
discussion.
Dan.
Yeah,
You did a nice job for
you
us.
did. I apologize for them too, so.
Have a good night.
Yep. We have a discussion for our fees, penalties on late water billing payments. As you know, when COVID hit us a year ago, probably a year ago this meeting, we suspended penalties for late water payments and fees. Are you granular with this, Cindy? Because it was Christie is the one that's really granular, and she's not here. Last time I kind of talked to her, it must have been a week and a half ago. And jump in, John, if you know. I think we had about 150 people that were in the rears. We contacted all of them to try to do a payment plan, and only half of them are keeping up on it. So we wanted to have some sort of a discussion on how does the board want to enact the turnoff policy, enact late fees on some of the ones that aren't holding to the agreed upon plan to catch up, that type of a thing. But without Christie here, we can postpone this to our next meeting too.
Well, I'd just like to say that, the COVID relief plan, as that comes forward to those, and basically everybody, from what I understand, that should be
Right.
part of their payment to,
Obligation.
get out of whatever hole they're in.
Right, I agree.
Are you referring to using some of those federal funds to catch up on some?
No, he's saying they're $1,400.
Yeah.
Yeah, those,
Yeah,
yeah.
use those funds to catch up on maybe some of your past dues.
Well, that's what it's designed for.
That's what they're for, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I would support what you're saying there, Mark, I get you.
So I guess we have option of, we can put the late fees on and not do turn-offs, or do turn-offs and late fees like we have. What do you think,
I
John?
wouldn't turn off anybody for it.
No.
No.
Do you have any thoughts on this, John?
Well, I think the late fees are something we may be able to look at, but absolutely the balance needs to be paid.
Right. And like I say, in talking with Christie and the gals in the office, everyone's been contacted. They set up payment plans, and I think it's been like a 50% are holding to the payment plans, and the other 50% just aren't. We're not seeing it.
There's a lot of help out there for people who truly need it.
There are, and it's not from the federal government too. There's
Correct.
other entities too, and we can put them in contact with them, and I'm sure we have
That would be a great
several in the
idea.
past.
Give them a list for assistance.
Yeah, we have that in the office for, some people that have problem paying their heat bill or this or that. We have those resources available already that we do. But like I say, I don't know, do we want to take action tonight or wait for our next meeting for Christie, or?
Sounds like it's about 75 people, you're guessing?
Yeah, I'm guessing. I could be off, it could be 100. I don't get granular with that
Right.
part of it.
But, I mean, maybe we call them out and say, from here, starting forward, there's gonna be late fees. I wouldn't go back.
No, we can't go back. Maybe starting April 1st going forward?
Right. And tell them what the
I
late
think that's
fees
a
are.
little soon, only because I know there's another stimulus check going to come to help some of these people.
Yeah.
And I think we should allow them an ample opportunity to get on another plan. Obviously, we want them to catch up rather than default.
You don't want to hit them before they spend it though either.
Yeah?
I'm
Yeah.
glad you said it, I was thinking of it.
Hey, that's how it works. Well, we can call them and we can kick in another date like May 1st or something, but call them now.
They're gonna be getting their income taxes back too.
Right.
So there should be,
I could support May 1st.
I think we should wait and let Chrissy put her 2 cents. in.
Yeah, like I
Because
say, I
she's
haven't
got
had this.
a better,
Well, unfortunately, Christie's wanted this on the agenda for the last 3 months, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate she couldn't be here tonight, but we finally got it on there. She's a little concerned.
Do you think her intentions about being on the agenda is because she wanted this reenacted?
Well, yeah, otherwise we wouldn't need it on the agenda because we're already charging them.
Right.
I mean, you need the time to contact everybody too.
Let's do this.
We should try to do it tonight.
Let me propose this. Let's say we're going to start the late fees May 1st. We're going to have 2 more meetings between now and then. Hopefully Christie can be there. We would have the option of changing it, modifying it if we need to once Christie's here. But at least if we do that, we can start calling. I can talk to Christie if she's on board with it. We can start calling these people up and say, hey, if you don't have us paid up to snuff, May 1st, we're going to start hitting you up with whatever the percentage is.
Don't we have another cycle of billing that's coming due this week or next week?
Every month, we send out bills every month. It just goes a third, and a third
Yeah.
of the customers.
You know, apart from COVID-19 and the late fees, do you have a percentage of what it was before COVID-19 on what kind of late fees we were generating as compared to what we're doing now?
Can you answer that, John?
We're doing 0 right now.
I can tell you it's higher, Mark.
Yeah, it's high. We have more people in their arrears now. I don't know if it's because they choose to be and just not paying it because of that, or if they have real serious employment issues. I'm sure it's a little bit of both. And like I say, we've always worked well. What can you afford? I mean, we don't put a real. We'll make a plan that they agree to and to keep, and it's not like we have a big regimen that, well, this is what it's going to be. We ask them, what can you afford, and what's the best way to get you on track. So
And we have no way of knowing what generated their
no,
late fees. I mean,
just lack of payment. We don't know what their each personal condition is. You want me to make a motion? Does someone want to make a motion, or?
You don't have to, Dave.
I'll make it. I'll make it. I have no problem. You know what? I'm a firm believer that people need to pay their bills.
Yeah.
And everyone has skin in the game with our whole water and sewer system that's hooked up to it.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with that. And we do have, if not the cheapest, one of the cheapest water rates in the county.
If you're going May 1st with your motion, I'll support it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we enact our late fees for our water and sewer payments starting May 1st.
Support.
And I wasn't quite done unless the treasurer, for some reason, would like to modify it. And we'll do that at our next meeting.
So then that really don't need to be in there.
Yeah.
What's that?
Then that really doesn't need to be in there, because we'll do it at the next.
Yeah, we can modify it, okay. I'll go with my original motion where we enact the late fees for late water payments and sewer payments starting May 1st.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. I don't think we need a roll call for this.
It might be good to do a roll call.
I will.
Okay, roll call.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we have before us, fire department requesting CPR mannequins for their training mannequins for CPR, $1,199.98.
If anybody is questioning, yes, that is how the fire mannequins are spelled. I've had 2 people tell me I had a typo, and it's not a typo.
Board, I'll make a motion that we approve the fire department request for the training mannequins in the amount of $1,199.98 arriving from line item 206-960.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and lots of support. Any discussion on that? Hey Chief, we gotta get some, now that COVID's winding down, it was hard before, we gotta get some CRP classes going. So,
CPR, you mean?
CPR classes. What did I say?
CRP.
Oh. CPR.
Okay.
All right, any more discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have on our agenda for consideration resolution 2021-04. This would be the 3rd time we're doing this and hopefully the last time we feel the need. Basically, we're saying that we have high water and we have a lot of residents that are in risk of significant damage from wakes, flooding and that type of thing. And we are requesting that the Marine Sheriff Patrol strictly enforces the wake laws in our township.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2021-04 requesting Marine Patrol from the St. Clair County Sheriff Marine Division.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion on that?
Is this the same as we had last year?
Yes. Change the dates. And I will say too that we do have a new sheriff, and he is they're going to deputize some of our officers so we can help on the water.
Really? Is that
Yes.
confirmed?
Yes,
That's good.
that's right. So I wanted to mention that.
We did see a little uptick in serviceability last year on the river, didn't
Yes, we did. So, and actually, we're talking to Gary Ison. There might be some, I don't know if it's just going to go to the counties or not, but there may be a chance of getting some grant money to help with that said enforcement too. I don't know yet. I don't know how well it's funded or anything else, but that's one thing we'll be doing here in the next 3 weeks. So. Okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Maureen Bory.
Yes.
Mark Bouchard.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Chris O'Regan.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we have a couple culverts on Phelps Road. And everybody that's been on the board and those who haven't for a while know that before we pave a road, we like to replace the culverts that are questionable or, towards I would say, towards the end of their useful life, and instead of just waiting for them to fail, because there's nothing more I hate than paving a new road and then have to rip it up to put a culvert or two in. And it's always cheaper to do it right before paving, because then you don't have to pay for a paver to come in after the fact to do it. We do it right before the paving is done, and these two culverts are on Phelps Road, which is slated to be paved. And the board always knows too that these quotes are usually a lot lower than what they quote us for. So anyhow, we have two before us on Phelps for a total of $13,337.
Who does the inspection on the culverts?
County does.
The paving company, the county, is that what you said?
County Road Commission.
And so it's their recommendation that these culverts are in such a condition that they should be replaced?
Yep.
Okay.
He says we might get 5 years, we might get 3 years, but we're going to put in a 25, 30-year road on it, on top of them. And like I say, usually when we do it, these prices would be half if we do it now. But if we wait and do it after we pave, you know, you got to cut it, you got to pull it out, you got to put it in the culvert, then you got to pay for an asphalt guy to make it mobilized for a special trip for, you know, to do a small section. And it's a lot more efficient and cheaper to do it this way.
I'll make a motion to approve the St. Clair County Road Commission culvert repairs on Phelps Road 2, to be exact, for $13,337 out of line number 101-446-971.
I'll support it.
All right, we have motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Maureen Bory,
Yes.
Mark Bouchard,
Yes.
Artie Bryson,
Yes.
Krista Reagan,
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes, Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next thing we have is I have one asphalt quote to put asphalt on top of the section that was built up earlier, and make it a nice hard surface. We do have a second quote coming. It has not been here yet, or do you know any word, John?
Any day.
Any day?
Yeah, I haven't heard from them.
Okay. So I'm asking the board to maybe, or let us do, give me permission to spend up to this amount, or do not exceed this amount. This still puts us, we had a $45,000 budget for this project. This plus what we've spent so far will put us at a little over $37,696. So we're still, you know, 7-8 grand below budget, and I don't want to. I want to get this done sooner and later, because I'll tell you why. There's another round of grants coming available for bike pass, and we could take advantage of township-wide bike kiosks. They are signage, and the little kiosks for bike repairs and information about biking in the area, and actually a couple more benches around on the bike path. But we can't apply for that until we close this one out. So I'm getting ready to make another application here in about a month. So I'd like to get this thing closed out in. So that's why I'm kind of pushing it a little bit.
It's pretty big, 650 foot by 9 foot.
Oh yeah, it's like, what is it, a
Like
square
good
foot?
price.
Yeah, what I figured out it was like $2 a square foot.
Yeah, looks like a pretty good price.
Who's the other bidder?
Jelch paving.
Joe.
Did we attempt to contact at least 3? Or Or we just contact those two?
I only could get two that would take a job that small on, Chris. A lot of guys can't get their equipment in there.
Gotcha.
Those were the two that were able to bid it, yeah.
And we expect a bid from Josh?
I thought I would have had it by now, to be honest with you, yeah.
Yeah, we thought
I'd be a lot more comfortable approving something once I saw both bids. Is 2 weeks gonna make or break this whole deal?
no, but like I say, we want to get it done as soon as we can. I mean, if the board wants to wait, we can, but,
I'm just one person,
right.
but I don't like awarding contracts without a competitive estimate.
Well, what I'm asking for is a motion not to exceed this. If the other bid comes in lower, we can go with that.
Can they get any more specific with the work to be done? I mean, they're saying pathway approximately 65 by 9 feet, and then the base will be compacted. What are they gonna compact it with?
A roller,
Hmm?
a steam roller. He's an asphalt
Well,
paver.
well,
And
what-
he's got all, that's why I say, he's got the equipment.
We also have those machines,
Yeah, but those don't do the job as well,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, this is,
I mean,
Under
ten-
$2 a
10
square
ton-
foot for
10 ton
asphalt. That's cheap.
steam roller or a 20-ton steam roller?
What?
Oh, the weight, I couldn't tell you.
It's not a process already.
Probably just one of those little ones, one of those little rollers.
Well, when do you have to get the grant in for the?
I got about 6 weeks, but like I say, in fact, I emailed them, I said, well, if we have approved work, but it's not paid for, can I still close this grant out? And I did not get an answer. So, this is, I got these grants through the Wilson Foundation. So,
It seems like if it's still 8,000 under budget, I'm for it.
And who's gonna oversee this project?
we're not hiring an inspector for it.
Okay. Well, I guess we gotta get rolling on it, so we're gonna lose a grant, right? Or,
Well,
you know,
I'd like to get the job done sooner than later. I don't want to be, in the middle of, end of June doing this. This bike path is well used.
This isn't gonna be subject to frost laws, is it?
Yeah, we gotta wait for the plant. When's the plants open up, John?
May 1st.
May 1st? So nothing's gonna get done till May 1st, as far as the actual work being done. I mean, if you wanna postpone it for 2 weeks, that's the board's pleasure.
I feel a whole lot more comfortable.
Just give me direction, make a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion that we table this
Postpone,
asphalt,
say postpone.
that we
There's a difference.
postpone this asphalt unlimited or the bike path asphalting project for 2 weeks. In which case we'll have an opportunity hopefully to look at 2 competitive estimates and make an educated choice.
Support.
Motion, support, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, next we go into closed session. So, it's going to be under the County Road litigation.
I'll make a motion at 8:14 to enter closed session for county road litigation.
Support. Okay, we have motion and support at 8:14. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, let's go back to the conference room. I'll call the regular meeting to order. Uh-oh, better put my mask on.
8:41.
At 8:41, And let the record show that we are taking no new action in the case of county road litigation that's before us. So, last thing on the agenda, we have board member comments. Cindy?
Oh, goodness. I did have some things and, yeah, I can't either. I was gonna write them down and I didn't, and I got all sidetracked, so. We already set our clocks up, please change your batteries, I already mentioned it earlier. Your smoke detectors. That's it. I got them.
Chris?
I just want to express my gratitude to our first responders. They seem to be working continuously without hiccups, without complaints, without hitches, and I'm just grateful for each and every one of them. Thank you.
Mark?
CV-19 vaccinations, Culverts is also offering them, so you can log into that. And Rite Aid's around the area, Myers. So I did submit my application to St. Clair, and they sent me a notice that on Friday, we've got 2 openings, 6:15 and 6:30, and this was at 4. So I got on the computer, I'm like, sorry, time's been taken, I said forget it. But I did get a shot from Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you, First Community, they're doing about 200 a week right now and getting more.
Well,
And like I say, I logged in at the county, I think Thursday, and I'm scheduled for Wednesday, so.
I get my second shot on the 30th of this month.
Okay. Do you have anything more?
no, that's it, thank you.
Okay. Joanne?
Everybody got this thing in the mail, I guess, about the conference schedule. But
Yes.
what pops out to me, I miss the fact that we can't go to that convention like we always did. But the pre-conference class there's 2 of them, 2 days. It might be of interest that somebody, the board will pay them. You got enough money left to pay
Yep.
for one of us to, or 2 of us, all of us?
Well, actually, we prepaid for everybody for last year.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a credit.
Yeah. Board authorities and responsibilities, and then the next meeting on the following day, board roles, who does what.
Mhm.
I think that would be a good one, too.
Yep,
That would be good to know.
Are there Zoom meetings? There's Zoom?
yes.
No, yeah, they're Zooms.
Virtual,
They're
yeah.
Zooms, virtual meetings.
I'd be interested.
This should be in your mailbox. You get to go to your mailbox and get it?
I haven't gotten any yet.
For the MTA conference, right?
Yeah.
Look in
Yeah.
your mailbox.
Michigan Townships Association.
The mailbox here with the
Yeah,
township.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
this
got it.
mailbox. Oh, I thought you meant at home.
No, this
Thanks.
mailbox.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll get it.
But that is really appealing to me, the Tuesday one.
Mhm. Maureen?
Well, we have St. Patty's Day coming up, so everybody be safe on that day, and won't see anybody till after Easter if you celebrate that holiday. Enjoy the time with your family if you can.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. All I have is March Madness. The Spartans made it, barely. Barely. U of M's in there too. But how many are in the Big Ten? How many are in the Big Ten, Michael?
4 of them, I think.
No, there's more than that, 5. There's gotta be 6 or 7.
Ohio State,
Ohio
Ohio
State,
State,
right?
Indiana,
Yep.
Illinois.
Indiana didn't get in.
Michigan.
I thought
I don't
Indiana
think
got
they
it.
got in.
I don't know.
Indiana?
Illinois. Huh?
I don't know, there's quite a few. Purdue got in. Oh, Rutgers got in, first time ever.
Oh,
I
I
remember
forget
seeing
about
that.
them, yeah.
But that's always exciting. My poor Spartans had a rough go about it this year. And too bad you didn't make it last year. You didn't wear your sweater.
I was always gonna wear my
But,
swoosh sweater, yeah.
Trying to
I'll
think,
wear
you
it
know,
next week.
we mentioned about changing the batteries. I'm glad we finalized the garbage situation. Like I say, I mean, it could have gone better, it could have gone a lot worse, but you know what? We're saving a lot of money for the taxpayers. what do we say, we're saving 10-12% on the garbage, which everybody else is going up 3 to 5%, especially recycling. And one thing I will say about Enterra is they have that new recycling center in Lansing, and I'd like to go there and see it. And maybe I'll get a date where we can all, if anybody else is interested. That's really a lot of technology, and I've seen them before, but this one's newer, how they use air and magnets, and they float things in water, and you know how they take the plastic, the caps off the bottles? They actually will float them, and they're floating, and they put heat on them, and it expands it, and it pops the cap right off. It's really cool. They all just start going, just a lot of cool stuff like that when you can figure out why. Yeah, the cans and this and the glass and everything, they take it, but if you throw in a frying pan, you can understand why they can't process that, and the weird stuff. So,
Cheesy pizza boxes.
in the cheesy pizza boxes, they can't scrape the cheese off the cardboard. Stuff like,
Grocery store bags.
yes, they can't.
No,
They
throw them out.
what happens, it clogs the whole conveyor belt system. And what they do to get them out, because they're in there, they actually shoot air up from underneath, and then they have this vacuum above it about 4 or 5 feet. So they shoot them up in the air, and then it goes up this thing. And
They make them so thin anymore, they're not good for anything.
No.
And then you can't recycle them.
and the whole recycling industry is based on weight. You know how much it takes to make 10 pounds of grocery bags? It's quite a bit. Everything's based on weight. The cardboard is, the metal, the glass, and there is no market for glass and recycling. I remember I talked to like Earl Smith and the beer guys. There's just no market for them, and they're actually thinking about putting the glass in the landfills in one section, so maybe 10, 15 years from now, if there's a market, we can mine it, pull it out.
It'll turn to sand. It'll turn
Right.
to sand.
And do that, but,
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 8:48.
yes. Second? All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, guys.